Good morning, brothers and sisters. I was up early this morning going to a funeral. One of my classmates. This is, if you can have a favorite cemetery place to be buried, this would have to be one of them, overlooking the beautiful Chattahoochee River. Not for yourself, but for the somewhat the people that are alive that come to visit your grave have a beautiful surrounding. Anyway, there's the Chattahoochee River flowing by. I hope it comes out in the light here. This old cemetery. But anyway, just thought I'd get on here and show you what I'm doing this morning. Going to a funeral, one of my classmates. Seems like it more often now that as they've reached their 70s, it's more often now that I'm going to one. Probably see some classmates that are still living. And of course, we won't talk about anything that I talk about on my videos. We'll express our sympathies, maybe sign the book, talk to a few people and leave. Would always love to see my old classmates. This particular well, I don't have time to get any kind of message in this video, except I happened to stop right over here next to it's not one of my relatives, but same name. But wow, on the sill you get a good fresh breeze. Of course, you see this river. You could right down in there. There's some places in this river that we would come in our boats up the river, and it would be until you saw a house, you would think you were on the Amazon River. It can be so remote. Absolutely beautiful. We used to come here in our youth. My brother and I always threatening to make a trip up here and spend the night in the boat and camp out. I don't know if we're ever going to do it. I would love to do it. I know I can do it with mosquitoes and stuff, you know. And you get out there in that river and wash off. Stay cool. That's what I do. There's plenty of catfish. Plenty of fish. Something to eat. I had a friend used to carry aluminum foil. That's all he would carry on a rod and reel. And he'd have a fire, wrap that fish up in aluminum foil and throw it on fire. That's what he would eat. Anyway, living off the fat of God's great land. He made everything there is. He's holding it all together. This isn't all there is, brothers and sisters. There's a world to come where there are none of these right here in front of you. There's a world to come. Jesus said. That's the hope of the world, brothers and sisters. They didn't tell us about this. They didn't tell us about this in school. I remember I couldn't understand why they, if this is where everybody winds up and you don't know when it's going to happen, why we were so worried about getting us educated. Why do we have to spend so much of our life packing our head with useless information, most of it? That's just what I used to wonder. Only to wind up right here. They didn't tell you about this. Just go out there and be a success. That's all that matters. Oh, but what happens if I I get to the top of the pile and then this happens? No, well, we didn't include that in our information that we gave you. I hope this comes out. One of the most beautiful cemeteries, if it could be one, in the world. Like I say, because the people that come to visit the grave and a beautiful atmosphere. I'm catching a real nice breeze off this hill up here. And this hill keeps going right on up, way on up here. See? Used to be cotton mills all around in here. Well, anyway, just thought I'd show you what I was doing. And them great tall pine trees there, wow. I know I'm gonna think of something to say after I get in the car and drive off. But the main thing is this: there's a world to come, a beautiful world to come, where there won't be any of these right here. Peace and love from this old boy down in Alabama.